Good morning students, welcome back to our zoology class. We are discussing chapter 6, that is the evolution, and today part 4, that is theories of biological evolution. In the previous session we discussed about this biological evolution. Then Urey and Miller experiment to prove this evolution of biotic things from this abiotic things, right? And today's session we are supposed to discuss theories of biological evolution. So the various theories are evolved regarding this biological evolution, and one of the person is Lamarck. He said his concept through these theories. And let us go on Lamarck's theory and objection to Lamarck's theory as well as neo-Lamarckism. So let us go on the first theory, that is Lamarck's theory, and Lamarck's full name is Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck. And he has published one of this very famous book, that is Philosophy Zoology, in the year 1809, right? And he has published two principles in his theory. So his theories are, the first theory is theory of use and disuse, and the second theory is theory of inheritance of acquired character, right? Let us go on one by one. What is the concept set by this Lamarck under his theory? So the first theory is use and disuse theory. So as per this theory, he said organs that are used often will increase in size, and those that are not used will degenerate. So if we are using any one organ in the body continuously, it may become more strong and strength. But if we are not using it continuously, gradually it will disappear. That is the point of this Lamarck. So to explain this theory, he has given these two evidences and examples. One of this example he has given for use theory is regarding giraffe. So as per Lamarck concept, he said the ancestor giraffe was with the short neck, right? So our current giraffe is with the lengthiest neck. That is this remarkable point for giraffe, right? But as per Lamarck concept, the ancient giraffe was with a short neck. It started to eat this food from this ground level. But when this population is increased, the giraffe number is increased, so there is a demand for the food. Hence there is a demand of food. It started to take the food from the trees. So since it is used its neck to collect the food from the trees, it was using its neck continuously. Hence the size of the neck of giraffe is gradually increased. That is the concept of use theory. Okay, so as per the figure we displayed there, gradually the length of this neck is increased for giraffe. Okay, and to explain this disuse theory, he has given the evidence regarding this snake. The snake which we see now is without limbs, but as per Lamarck concept, the ancient snake had limbs. Since it was not used its limbs for its locomotion, gradually the limbs are disappeared, right? So that is the concept he tried to say under this title, use and disuse theory. And his second theory is inheritance of acquired character. Right? So inheritance means transfer the character from one generation to the next generation. Acquired character means the character which is received during the lifetime. The animal is receiving the character during the lifetime based on this environmental changes. So here also we could give this example like giraffe. Actually, giraffe lengthiest neck was not its ancestral character. So because of the environmental change, it acquired its lengthened neck character. But this lengthiest neck character is transferred to the next generations. So generation by generation it is transferred. That's why the present giraffe is with lengthiest neck. Right? So the character which is acquired or received during the lifetime because of the environmental changes will be transferred to the next generations. Right? So that is the concept regarding this inheritance of acquired character. Right? So when Lamarck set his concept under two theories regarding use and disuse theory and inheritance of acquired character, there is lot of these suggestions or objections are arised about his concept, right? And they try to disprove his concept with other evidences, right? And one of these experiment which is conducted by the person, his name is August Weismann. So he has produced this strong evidence regarding this objection to Darwinism with one experiment, right? Now let us go on the experiment which was conducted by the person August Weismann. So as per this Lamarck concept, he said the character the animals will receive during its lifetime because of the environmental changes may transfer by generation. So that is a concept said by Lamarck. So which is disproved by this August Weismann with his experiment, right? And he has selected this mice for his experiment. So he selected this pair of rat or mice and he started to cutting the tail of these rats and led to breeding. So he collected this pairs of rats and cutted the tail and let it breed. So when it started to breed, of course it was producing the second generation rat. But when he checked the second generation rat also has born with the tail. So he has tried the same experiment once again, and in the third generation also there will be this rats with the tail. So he has conducted this experiment for more than 20 generations, even though every offspring has born with the tail, right? So as per Lamarck concept, the character which is absorbed by the parent rats must be transferred to the next generations. But here it is not transferred even 20 generations. He has conducted this experiment, but even though this character is not transferred, every rat has born with the tail. So he has disproved this Lamarck's theory. So he said this changes may not transfer to the next generations, right? And that's what he has changed Lamarck's concepts a little bit, and he has given another one theory, right? Let us see that theory. So August Weismann has given this new theory, that is germplasm theory. right? So as per this theory, he said changes in the somatoplasm will not be transferred to the next generation, but changes in the germ plasm will be inherited. So as per this concept, so if there is any changes in our somatic cells, body cells, it will not be transferred to the next generation. But if there is any changes in the gametes or germ cells, sperm cell or egg cells, it will be transferred to the next generations, because somatic cells are not involving for the formation of this next generation, but this germ cells only going to involve there. So if there is any changes in the germ cells only, it may transfer to the next generation. So that is the concept of germ plasm theory, which is given by August Weismann, right? So the next one is regarding neo-Lamarckism. So neo-Lamarckism in the sense, of course, group of peoples was against this Lamarck theory, but in other hand, group of peoples has supported this Lamarck theory. So the peoples who have supported this Lamarck theories are known as Lamarckians, neo-Lamarckians, right? So here especially the few people's names are mentioned there, that is Hope, Osborne, Packard, Spencer. So these are all these neo-Lamarckists. So they have supported this Lamarck theory. So these people have supported this Lamarck theory, what said by this Lamarck. So the basic concept of Lamarck is inheritance of acute character, right? Okay. So let us see the points. Organisms acquire new structures due to their adaptations to the changed environmental condition. So here what they believe is organisms may acquire some new character because of this changed environmental character. That the word they said due to their adaptation. When this environment change, organisms will produce their new organs, or it may acquire new characters as per this environmental changes to survive in the environmental changes, right? So surely it may develop one new structures or new characters. Fine. External conditions stimulate the somatic cells to produce certain secretions which reach the sex cells through the blood and bring about variation in the offsprings. So here external conditions, for example, if there is any climatic changes, whatever it is. So extra shortage of food, demand of food is increased, and flood may come, starvation. So most of these reasons we could say. So these external conditions are stimulating the somatic cells to produce the certain secretions. So if there is any changes in the situations or environment, it will give one stimulus to the somatic cells or body cells. Then the body cells will stimulate the sex cells or gametes, that is sperm cells or ovum cells, to secrete some secretions. Here it is not mentioned what secretion it is, but it is influencing these cells to secrete some substance, right? So which reach this sex cells. So somatic cell is secreting some substances. That secretions will reach the sex cells through the blood and bring about variation in the offspring. So as per this August Weismann said, if there is any changes in the somatoplasm, it will not transfer to the next generation. If there is any changes in the germ plasm, it will transfer to the next generation, right? That is the concept of August Weismann. He has said with this experiment conducted by the rats. So neo-Lamarckians also supporting his theory, and as per that they said, environmental changes may bring this stimulus to the somatic cells. Because of that, somatic cells will produce some secretions, whatever it may be, that will go towards these sex cells, gametes, through the bloodstream, and gametes will produce these changes in the offspring, next generation. Right? So that is this new Lamarckian's concept. Right? So that's all about this Lamarck's theory. And Lamarck's basic concept is inheritance of acute character, and some suggested this Lamarck's theory, some of them has opposed this Lamarck's theory. Right? And let us see some assignments regarding this Lamarckism. So the assignments, the first question is give use and disuse theory. Of course, we can give this what is use theory and disuse theory with an example. Fine. Then explain germplasm theory. And germplasm theory is, of course, it is said by this August Weismann, and we have to write this germplasm theory. Then the next question is explain the concept of neo-Lamarckians. So what is the concept of Lamarckians? Of course, the environmental changes may bring this changes in this, character wise, or it may occur new organs, and it will make the changes in the next generation. How it will make the changes in the next generation? Of course, this environmental changes may give one influence over the somatic cells. Then the somatic cells will secrete some secretions. This will be transferred to the sex cells through the bloodstream. Then the sex cells will produce this variations, difference, character in the next generation, offsprings, right? So that is regarding this neo-Lamarckian's concept, right? So please go on these questions and write it down in your note also, and submit it on the day of this correction camp, right? Hope you will do everything fine. Thank you.